About exams and drawing particularly.
Yeah, GCSEs.
And?
Yeah. Well, I just told you off screen for a reason, but we can talk about it if you'd like.
All right. We'll tease it
Tell
up.
me, so GCSEs, you did all the ones that you had to sit. You did most of them, and
we
you did
shouldn't
okay.
talk about. No, we shouldn't talk about this. Come
We're not
on.
going to talk about this.
GCSEs
We're going to talk about your new album.
Yes.
In a minute.
Yeah. Okay. What's happening now?
We're going to go to the news where they are.
Okay, so this
Not
was
where
just
you
a
are.
segue.
We just, it's a little,
Just
like
a segue.
It's a little
okay.
hello. You know,
Okay.
it's like saying hello to the audience for you.
Thank you.
And
Jim.
they know that
we
you're
will be
here.
back in 30 seconds. 30
About a minute.
minute.
He's good.
See you then. Ed is more on the ball than us, to be honest with you. He goes, we're back now.
He just told us we're back on air.
Yeah, I'm actually being brought in to replace you. This is
Well,
kind
thank
of like an
goodness for that.
intervention.
It's you see, much more casual. I think that could go down well, actually, because some people say we wear too formal.
Don't look at me.
I quite like the attire this morning.
Thank you very much.
Do you have it pressed every morning?
I do it myself, actually.
Oh, amazing.
Now you're asking.
Amazing. I attempted to iron one of my shirts the other day, and it just ended up with the big line there for the rest
Oh,
of the
come
day.
on. You must have like an entourage. You probably have 3 people who are in charge of your ironing by now, don't you?
No. My girlfriend's mate ironed something once. And that was
Really?
that was about as close as I get to an entourage ironing things.
Okay.
Oh, it's lovely to see you. 3 years ago, Ed Sheeran made his Glastonbury debut on the BBC's introducing stage for unsigned artists. Since then, he has sold millions of records, picked up the odd Brit Award or 2. How many is it? Have you counted?
It was 2, yeah.
It was 2.
It was 2.
And toured as well with Taylor Swift.
He's playing Glastonbury this weekend. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's take a look at some of your hits first.
Cool.
They say she's in the class 18, stuck in her daydream. Been this way since 18, but lately her face seems slowly sinking, wasting, crumbling like pastries. And they scream the worst things in life come free to us. I'm out of touch, I'm out of love. I'll pick you up when you're getting down. And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now. I'm out of sight, I'm out of mind. I'll do it all for you in time. And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now.
Did you get to have some say over what the puppet looked like?
Yeah, I mean, it was based on.
Well, I know it's based on.
They took all the pictures. I kind of like, because I ended up having a night out that was quite similar to that in a Korean karaoke bar. So I was like, I want to do this video in a Korean karaoke bar, and they were like, oh, we're going to make this puppet. And I was like, great. But I arrived on the video shoot, and there's like 15 Korean dudes in suits just kind of chilling there, and this puppet. It was one of the most surreal experiences I've had. But the puppet, you'd be surprised how much puppets are. Like, all the videos from the last album, if you put all of them together, they cost as much as the puppet.
Really?
Is that how things have changed, though? Because they have changed a lot since the last album, haven't they?
I mean, for a first single, the label's willing to shell out a bit more, I think.
Right.
Yeah, for a video, because they want to make an impact. And I think it worked out
And that
well.
wasn't going to be the first single, was it?
That wasn't even going to go on the album. No. Yeah, it was meant for. I was working on another album, mostly all with Pharrell, and it was going to be like a more funky sound. And then that was the one song that we'd finished. And then whenever anyone heard it, they were like, "Oh, that should be the first single." And I was like, "Really?" And then it was.
You've had amazing rise to fame, haven't you? From what was a sort of old-fashioned style beginnings in a music career. There was no talent show, none of those things. You started gigging. You just started playing music and basically stopped your education, as we sort of alluded to a moment ago. But you knew what you wanted to do, and you just started doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I just like my dad always said to me, like, if you don't need to get a degree to do a job, then go out and experience it. Like, you know, if you want to be a doctor, go and get your grades and stuff. But if you want to be a musician, your education is going to come from doing shows, writing songs, practicing, meeting people, networking. So just start off as early as possible and do that.
And it's gone all right, hasn't it?
I mean, yeah, it hasn't gone too badly. It hasn't gone too badly. I'm not I'm not starving anymore.
And the networking's not going too badly, is it either? Because I mean, who's the best name on the mobile phone? Is it Elton John? Who's the one that you could still look at down the list and go, I can just call him?
Deirdre, my TV plugger, she's the best one on my mobile phone. She gets me shows like this. And Jules Holland.
Yeah, well, you said
that's
right
no
things.
Jules Holland's a like BBC props for that because you took away Top of the Pops, which, come on, bring it back. But Jules Holland, yes, mate.
It's a great
Good
show
stuff.
as well, isn't it? Tell us what is your favourite song on the album?
It's a song called Thinking Out Loud, track 11. It was actually the last song I did for the album. I wrote it in my kitchen and recorded it that week, and then it went on the album. The album was like complete, and then that song just popped
Why is that
up.
one important?
Because it's actually the only happy song on the album. You listen to the album, you're like, oh, Hope is lost. He's such a sad guy, and then you hear that song, and you're like, oh no, he's happy now. So.
Should we have a listen to another one?
Yeah.
This one is called One, and this is the first time it's been played on TV.
Is it?
Apparently. Here it is. You mentioned it's not so happy, this album. I mean, it's...
Well, it's just, you like, people always think, like, oh, you must be a sad guy because you write lots of sad songs. But, like, songs, when you're happy and you're like, yeah, let's go for it, you're not going to be sat in a, like, dark hotel room writing a song. You're going to be out having
Being
fun.
happy.
So the only times I do write songs are when you're in a dark hotel room.
Tell me a little bit, we just talked a little bit about it. So you've taken the swearing out of this because of a particular reason?
Yeah, no, I was in a taxi in Los Angeles, and the taxi driver was like, yo, man, my daughter loves your stuff. And I was like, oh, you should come down to a show. And he's like, I'm not coming to one of your shows, man. And I was like, why? And he was like, because you swear too much. And I was like, if I take out the swear words,
Yes.
will you come? And he was like, only if you edit your album and take all of them out, because I want to
you
be able
went
to play it.
back and edited?
Yeah, I went back, took out all the swear words. But it worked out, because the guy that runs my record label has two daughters who are like, little. And he said every time he was playing the unmixed album, he kept having to turn it down every few seconds. So I just think it works out better. People can fill in the blanks if they want to.
Cab drivers everywhere are now thinking they can steer your career. Every time you're going to say, well, if I tell him that, he's going to do it.
Deepest conversations in life I usually have are with cab drivers. They're like, because they just know so much. They speak to so many people every single day. So you can get down.
It's been lovely to speak to you, Ed. And I know lots of people have sent in questions for you as well to breakfast. Ed is going to answer them on Facebook. His new album, Multiply, is out now. You're playing at Glastonbury and touring as well later this year?
Yep, touring this year
Brilliant.
in October. Are you coming to Glastonbury? Are you doing anything?
Sadly
That'd
not.
be nice.
Have a great time.
Stick on your
I'll
wedding.
watch it on the
Obviously on the
telly.
BBC, of course.
Come and get on it. It'll be fun.
That's all we've got time for this morning. We're back at 6 tomorrow morning. Have a great day.
Bye.